Monday night, he told us to catch on fire. Then he told us to give him something he can feel. Then he told us to hold on. Friday night, he told us to act like Amen. Genesis 22nd, 32nd, 24 through 26, and Jacob was left alone. And he wrestled. There wrestled a man with him until the breaking of the day. And he said, let me go, for the day break. And he said, I will not let thee go, except thee bless me. We want to talk this morning, this afternoon, from this subject. I can't go home like this. Can't go home like this. Most of you, if you're familiar with wrestling, you will notice that wrestling has captivated our hearts and minds for generations. For the mere fact that through the length of time, wrestling has fascinated us with the mere fact that young men by the name of Hulk Hogan and men like the $1 Million Man, Andre the Giant, and Ricky Steamboat, wrestlers like that. But in the midst of it, there was one by the name of Hulk Hogan that was real famous. Hulk Hogan came out with the mere fact that he had his own television show. He had his own comic book, and he had his own paper. But in the midst of it, they would oftentimes come out with a gadget or a particular garment that they would put on. Sometimes they would be fascinating to the point that they would spellbind us. And regardless of the fact that whether you believed in it or not, it still drew your attention. Now some of us came up under the era of Rip Hall, Sweet Hansen, George Weaver, Johnny Baker, the Anderson brothers. You know those fellows in Minnesota. But in their flamboyance, they would wrestle. Some of them was athletic and the other was showboat. Yeah. But as we watch the Olympics, sometimes we realize that that's real wrestling. All right. When they have a circle and they have a ring, and oftentimes the opponent tussle one with another. They wrestle to the point that if they can hold the opponent's shoulder down on the ground for 3 seconds, then they'll declare the winner. Oftentimes we lose our Christian warfare because the devil beats us to the punch. But Ephesians 6 let us know that we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against wickedness in high places. You see, some of us are overcome by the things of this world. When I look at my text this morning, I'm reminded of a young man by the name of Jacob. Looking at Jacob, many of you knew the story growing up with the mere fact that Jacob tricked his brother out of his inheritance. Jacob knew that his brother was next in line, but somehow Jacob's name means trickster. It means conniving. So Jacob somehow connived his brother. If you take this pottage and sign over your birthright, then I'll be able to get your blessings. The text begins to open up with the mere fact it's 21 years later. Jacob had to leave town because Esau ran him away. There was division in the family. 21 years went by and Jacob began to labor under his uncle Laban. And somehow Jacob became wealthy. He became rich, but Jacob went to sleep one night. And in the midst of going